What's up, I'm Kyle, and this is the Vervet Forest. It's officially vasectomy season, which means that every single 2.5-year-old male monkey on the property is getting vasectomized. A lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, have asked about this in the past. Everyone wants to know, do they get neutered? Do they get castrated? No, we vasectomize them. The reason that the males are vasectomized at 2.5 years old is that their testicles are very important to them. I guess you could say that about a lot of men, but in this case, Vervet's blue balls actually represent something. It shows their prowess and their ranking within the troop society. So to castrate a male vervet and get rid of its balls is actually really rude. It's kind of a mean thing to do. They have trouble. We find a lot of our ex-pets that show up here that have been brought in have been castrated. The male ex-pets have been castrated, and they have a really hard time integrating into the troops because they just don't identify well within the troop ranking because they don't have testicles. So in order to allow our male vervets to live a healthy, natural life within the troops, and because we are not a breeding facility, we are a rehab and sanctuary, we vasectomize every single male monkey on the property at 2.5 years old. That also includes the bandits. So the goal is to never have any births occurring inside of the troops because that doesn't help us in any way. I want to give a shout out to some of my patrons, well, all of my patrons who make this possible for me, but especially my top patrons, which would be Fast Out, Janet Franciscovich, Chuck and Di, Jim and Linda, and Australia. When I got to sickbay, there was already a lineup of dudes waiting around. Thomas William from Skrow, Boo Boo from Engelkey, and Jambalaya and Babia from Royal were all post-procedure and ready to go back home. Leonard and Apache from Skrow Troop were just waiting to get snipped. Apache was the first up this morning, and it meant it was time for him to be sedated.
So she's trying to get him over to the crush cage side right now. That way they can crush him, bring him to the top, and then sedate him before his surgery. There you go. It's time to get sleepy.
Good luck, have fun. You know the time now?
This is Cheryl. She's from the Americas.
The Americas.
She does things with
The
sharp
colonies,
stuff. Yeah,
yes.
exactly. This is Emma. I don't think she's from the Americas.
I'm not. From the Belgium.
The Belgians.
Furry. Over your head in. So everything covered in green is my sterile field, and then all the instrument trays as well.
So spit on that stuff?
Exactly. Spit on it, step on it.
Okay, great.
Just mush your hands in it.
Ooh.
Heart rate is 104.
I'll wait till it's messier.
Right next to it. And then Not 1-0. Yep. And then can I incision side? Oh, he's got a little layer of fat. He's a healthy boy. Thanks. The two we did yesterday were lean and no fat on them.
Were they the royal ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The topical anesthetic.
Nice.
That's good. Thank you.
What's it called?
Bupivacaine. I also used lidocaine. But we had lots of bupivacaine this year, so.
You're just slicing the fat away.
So I'm going down through the subcutaneous tissues to get to the little bundle that holds the ductus deferens and its blood supply en route to the testicle. So I'm going to open that up, find the ductus, take out a piece, put everything back like I was never there.
Made that sound pretty exciting. Sounded like an adventure.
It is. It's an adventure every time.
We're going in search of it.
So far I've had some really nice ones. Some of them last year had inguinal hernias.
Oof.
So they weren't fully closed on each side. And I did a huge bundle of fat pop up right in my surgical field. Made it very difficult.
That's always enjoyable.
Yeah. But we got a free inguinal hernia repair at the same time as their vasectomy. 2-for-1 special.
And they didn't have to pay for any of it.
Right, we have free socialized health care here at the VMF. As long as you're a monkey.
We even fly doctors in from out of state.
Left side located. Very healthy blood supply next to it. That bleeds a lot if you nick it. Pop it back down.
Located? Left side, right?
Yes.
Please correct the time here. Next to locate. The other side.
So, what exactly did you do?
So I found the ductus, which is the hardest step because it's, as you can see, very, very tiny.
Yeah.
Isolated it from its nearby blood supply. Secured it so I didn't lose it again. That was
Yes.
extremely frustrating.
I saw that. So that's when you wrapped it over.
Yes, I learned that the hard way last year. When it took me so long to find it, and then
They
I
were
found it,
just-
and I was so excited, and then just immediately dropped it.
Ugh. Oh, that's frustrating.
And then clamped off the section that I'm going to be taking out, which is at minimum a centimeter.
Okay.
I try to get a little bit more. They can grow back together.
It's a matter of taking a portion out and then just leaving a gap, or is it
Exactly. So it's like you had a highway
right?
and you took a bridge out,
Okay.
and then you put large barriers on both sides of the
Okay,
bridge.
so you are putting a clamp on either side when it goes back in, or tying it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to be putting 2 sutures on each end.
Okay. I see. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
All right.
And that
that's
is-
such a small knot that you're putting on there too. That's
Yeah.
tough.
It's all very, very tiny.
Yeah. And so, is it the semen that flows through this tube specifically?
Yeah, so this one is specifically for the sperm and its associated fluids.
And so, when it blocks or backs up, hits the barrier, does it just stop and go back? Does
Exactly.
it dissolve in there?
Exactly. It's like it hit that jam at the bridge, turned around.
Oh, okay. So you don't get like any sort of like backflow where it's getting like blows up or anything.
Nope,
and
nope. They just return to where they came from, die, and are reabsorbed.
That's really interesting.
And you can leave each end of the duct is open.
Mhm.
So that is an acceptable practice.
And it'll just flow out and dissolve in the body.
Unfortunately, no.
That's what.
So what happens?
They get themselves pregnant?
That's a miracle. What happens is that sperm has nowhere to go, so it lodges in the subcutaneous tissue and
Right.
forms what's delightfully called a sperm granuloma.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
Yes, it is uncomfortable.
It's a sperm pimple.
It's a sperm pimple,
It's a
exactly.
kidney stone made of sperm.
So then, it's very irritating and uncomfortable, and it increases the risk of it growing back together. 'cause there's
Oh,
less
interesting.
blocking it.
Oh, that's really crazy. So it could actually find itself like a lizard in its tail and reconnect
Exactly.
itself.
Yep. It's surprisingly common.
That's amazing.
Nature finds a way.
Yeah, seriously. Jurassic Park. It seems incredibly low impact. It's pretty.
It is. It's very, very minimal bleeding too. Which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
great for these little guys. They don't have a whole lot to lose.
Hmm.
The splitting rate is 82.
These are absorbable sutures. These will absorb within weeks to months.
That's cool.
We do everything absorbable, so we don't have to recapture them, resedate them.
Yeah.
Lower risk of them taking them out themselves.
Oof. Oh, so you have to do two?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay.
One for each testicle.
That makes sense. It's a super highway rather than like an old town road.
Right side located.
Very tough. Close it up nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is just some fluid to help rehydrate him. He's been under for so long.
Yeah, reversal.
After it was all over, Cheryl gave Apache a shot to help reverse the sedation, and within a few minutes, he was waking up.
You can write down heart rate. 108.
Okay.
And he's already starting to lift his head up a little bit. Which is good, you're a big boy. He's a little bigger than yours. So we're going to pull out his hot water bottle before he gets too awake. Good to go? Sweet. How's that boy?
These two already sitting up.
I know, we love it.
Apache's vasectomy went really well. It was quick. It was easy. He was, I believe, number 5 to be vasectomized, and I think there's 15 in total, 15 2.5-year-old males that need to be vasectomized. So that should all be done easily in the next couple of days, and vasectomy season and the excitement of that will be all over. So I hope you guys learned something from that vasectomy. Found it interesting. I found it interesting. Oh, hey, look. It's a George. What's a George doing out here? What's a George? He's just a dust dog. That's all he does. He's just a dust dog. A couple of days later, Apache was released back to Skrow Troop, and when I caught up with him, he was strutting around like he was still the coolest dude in town.